Turret has been destroyed.
All right, whoever the ref is, I'm not sure he likes Astral. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I think we can go. All right, I think we can go. So we'll probably just work with whatever we have as we move on. Is there anything I need to be aware of?
Da chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, 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 chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on the fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, hold on. No one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, get racks in the morning. Starboy on the phone, name Marin. Feel like Brazil, had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the You never seen this before. Now I go full songs on a billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to so much, you know. They said I would never, ever get better. They said I would never, ever get better. Party in there, party in there. Party in there, party in there. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, yeah. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in there. Favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in there. Da chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, 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 chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on the fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, hold on. No one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, get racks in the morning. Starboy on the phone, name Marin. Feel like Brazil, had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the You never seen this before. Now I go full songs on a billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to so much, you know. They said I would never, ever get better. They said I would never, ever get better. Party in there, party in there. Party in there, party in there. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, yeah. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in there. Favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in there. Da chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, 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 chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. da chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, 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 chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on a fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, hold on. No one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, getting racks in the morning. Starboy on a film named Marin. Feel like Brazil had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the You never seen this before. Now I got 4 songs on the billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to so much, you know. They said I would never, ever get better. They said I would never, ever get better. Party in there, party in there. Party in there, party in there. Listen to my when she see that motion, yeah, yeah. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in there. Favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in there. Da chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, 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 chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on a fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, hold on. No one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, getting racks in the morning. Starboy on a film named Marin. Feel like Brazil had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the. Party in there, party in there. 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 Party in there, par You never seen this before. Now I got 4 songs on a billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to so much, you know. They said I would never, ever get better. They said I would never, ever get better. Party in there, party in there. Party in there, party in there. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on a fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, hold on. No one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, getting racks in the morning. Starboy on the phone, name Marin. Feel like Brazil, had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trafficker. We can have a party in the
Okay, so this is why. Alright, what's up guys? Ooh, I think that mic is a bit too loud. Hi guys, welcome to match number 2. First of all, I'd like to sincerely apologize for the whole technical issues that happened in game number 1. It was a very, very interesting match. Unfortunately, we were not able to enjoy it, from the draft phase all the way up to the end of the game, but thankfully we fixed most of the issues. Hopefully we will not be having any other technical issues for the rest of the day and for the rest of the tournament. So thank you for joining us. It is match number 2. It's going to be Xenagog versus Eternal Void. And of course, Xenagog versus Eternal Void is a match that is always going to be a very, very interesting one. But joining me to carry us along the stream and the match is going to be Ken. Ken, please introduce yourself to everyone who is watching.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken, as been introduced, and I'm really glad to be giving us play-by-play of this game that we're about to enter into.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we are seeing some really beautiful draft for two teams, and some really amazing picks. Sicilian has been a very wonderful match this new season. Honestly, I'm really okay with that Sicilian first pick, and also the Basha and the Brody comes in. From the side of Eternal Void, we're seeing Irithel, Frederick, and Lujon. Really beautiful picks, if I must say. But there's still a lot to be determined in the game. Yes, we just hoping this is another wonderful game from these two beautiful, consistent teams.
Yeah, definitely. If there's one thing that is guaranteed, I think, is the fact that this game is definitely going to be interesting and full of really, really intense team fights. I think let's just see if I can run through the first 3 picks. Is Sicilian, Baxia, and Brody. That's already 3 very, very solid picks for the side of Xenagog. And I wanted to call them Ekatel again. I will need to correct myself. So for the side of Eternal Void, it's going to be Iritel, the Fredrin, and the Yuzhong. First 3 picks. But to be honest, 3 picks. The first 3 picks from both sides have been very, very, very solid. Like, that is amazing. Starting this thing. Baxia is. I feel like Baxia. I'm even surprised Baxia was left open. Baxia is one hero that is always banned. He's too tanky, he provides too much damage, and then the passive, the anti-heal, the life bane passive that the Baxia, gives with that shield immunity is something that is very, very difficult to handle, especially seeing the fact that Eternal Void decide to rock that Yuzhong and the Fredrin. I feel like the Baxia is going to be just like a soft counter to them, because from minute 1, you're already like toning down the amount of regen and heals that the Fred and the Baxia, I think even the Irritel later on can provide. And I'm pretty sure he's going to prioritize getting that Chastised Pauldron to further, reduce the effectiveness of the Irritel moving on. But yeah, they are going to end up supplementing this with a Minotaur pick that is even more heals. I think Eternal Void have just decided that, okay, since you have the Baxia, we are going to be having, that permanent anti-heal throughout the game. We're not going to double down on sustain. We're going to bring in one of the best times to do that with, which is the Minotaur. So you have the crowd control that he offers, you have the defense boost that he gets with that motivational roar, you have crowd control and heal, so Minotaur is a really, really good pick all around. You just can't go wrong with Minotaur. And the last 2 picks of Shadows and is going to be the Uranus and the Matilda. The healers were buffed in the current meta, Ken, and I think that I feel like Monton is really trying to push us back into that healer meta. I don't know how effective it's going to be for them, but we see lots of teams. I think even in the pro scenes in the Asian, I can't remember what was it called, the Asian League that they're playing currently. We see, I feel like all the teams are just yeah. You can take it.
And Honestly, I must confess, I'm really glad we're back to the healer support meta because so far, from what I've seen, it has not been bad so far. But there's still it's still very early into the season, so
Yeah.
so much can still happen. But I must confess, it's a really good time to be a support main at this point. And that Matilda pick, although I'm not really confident about its usefulness to this team combo. We'll see how they utilize the Matilda because the Matilda can be a really good form of escape. Depending on how they utilize her, she might be able to keep their species very, very safe.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the Matilda's position also matters a lot in this game because on the other side they have a lot of things to make this Matilda have a very, very horrible game. So positioning will matter a lot for the Matilda, but honestly, I don't think it's a really bad game. It's a really horrible game to have the Matilda in it.
So if there's anything that I would say, I may probably fault for the side of Xenagog, the draft that they've, brought up is probably not enough crowd control. Literally all they have is the Sanguine Cross from the Sicilian, and then, maybe when the backshot rolls, that stun that he gets. There's no real crowd control. But on the other side of Eternal Void, you have unlimited crowd control. You have the Minotaur, you have the Fredrin, you have the Yuzhong with a Furious Dive, and you have the annoying God. You have the annoying god, that poke, the constant stuns from, the god, the
Yeah,
true damage is going to be really, really difficult. But the Matilda, I feel like the Matilda always has a role to play, even if it's just for the fact that she's going to, offer faster rotations. Is basically a get out of jail free card if they can use her correctly. And
yeah,
seeing how
yeah,
tanky the Baxia is, he just rolls in, soaks up damage, and then you have that Matilda uses the wings by wing and just pulls him out of there once again. And then it's almost like everything you've fought to damage is wasted. But I feel like definitely if anybody is going to pull that Matilda off properly, it is going to be Atete, a very, very amazing Roma. And I think this is definitely going to be an interesting game. Already we're going to see Pulse being called off by the side of Eternal Void, which we are going to give just to make sure that everything goes smoothly as we start the game. But looking at both drafts, Ken, if you were to pick which one was kind of the better draft for you, which team's draft will you go for?
Okay, I think I will have to go for Eternal Void with this one because they have drafted a comp that potentially grants them a huge chunk of map presence,
Yeah.
which is very, very good. They can utilize it. I
Mm-hmm.
think on the side of Synagogue, they have a good draft,
Yeah.
but it's a draft that eventually allows them to. They have to give up a little bit of the early game map presence
Mm-hmm.
for so many other things.
Yeah.
So if the side of Eternal Void can utilize that map presence they have in the early game
Mm-hmm.
and just push it towards the mid game, I think they have the draft to make. They have everything they need to make this game a difficult one
Yeah.
for Xenagog. But
Yeah, definitely.
still, all in all, it is not a lost game for Xenagog because honestly, they have a pretty solid draft too, if I must confess. But if I'm to pick one, I'll just go for Eternal Void.
Yeah, it's definitely not a lost game. The game has not even started, so it cannot be a lost game just yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think just as you said, I'd always lean more into a comp that has more crowd control. I feel like Mobile Legend has always been this game
Yeah,
that the more crowd control you have, the better. However, I feel
yeah,
like where Eternal Void, or rather where Xenagog will get that where can make a difference rather is in that god pick. Wait, was it Eternal Void or Cartel that had the god? Oh, it was even the Cartel that sorry, it was even Eternal Void that picked it, not Xenagog. It was Eternal. I was going to say, since they have, the god, they can poke from a distance because obviously you can't fight these guys head on. The team fights prowess for Eternal Void is just way too strong right now. If I were Xenagog, I would try to avoid any form of team fights. I don't see them winning any team fights. So their best bet, or rather how they
Yeah.
want to approach a team fight, is kind of divide and conquer, or you poke until you notice that, okay, I see an opportunity, then I take the opportunity. But full on
Yeah.
5v5 team fights, I really don't think yeah, Xenagog is going to be winning any of those.
Exactly, that is correct. What one thing their draft gives them the ability to do is pickups, and I think that is what they should really work towards. I
Mhm.
think they should just. I won't probably say they should avoid altogether team fight, but I think if it's avoidable for them, they should just avoid team fights because
Mhm.
honestly, I don't see them less eternal void and so I think they should just focus on using that back share and Matilda, like you have said earlier, they
Mhm.
should focus on just picking up key members of Eternal Void.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with you. We do see another pause, requested by, I think it was still El Cartel requesting the pause again. Oh, sorry. It was still Eternal Void requesting the pause. And we're just going to grant that. Hopefully, they're able to sort out whatever issues. I see. Is it a Brody? No, sorry. It is the Minotaur still in the base. So I'm guessing there are probably some connection issues right now. Hopefully he's able to, okay, we can see the Minotaur is moving again. So that's very, very good. We can finally go back into the game, but we do see a first blood in the mid lane. I have no idea how that happened.
And honestly, this is what I think they should just focus on. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think they need to focus on this, and they have the right idea already. Because going into turtle fight, they cannot allow it escalate into kind of like a full-on team fight. I think before this first turtle comes up, what they need to do is find a way to pick out key members and put Eternal Void in a situation where they cannot contest for the turtle. I think that gives them an edge in the turtle take. But if Eternal Void are able to gather around that turtle pit and they are able to contest for it, I think Xenagog on their ends will have to play a really, really amazing game, and that retribution has to be on point. Or I don't really see them being able to take that turtle away from this kind of comp that Eternal Void has come up with. But we can see that it's Xenagog on the turtle pit first, and really, really nice zoning that you zone away from the turtle, and oh my god.
Blue team has slain the
And the
turret.
first turtle goes to Xenagog. This is amazing.
I think,
Okay, yeah. It still
yeah,
gets the purple.
it does get the purple. Obviously, I feel like Eternal Void we're not even planning on, contesting
I'm
that
taking
turtle.
that turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems like the AFK member will not
Victory!
permit them to continue the game or to complete the game. We'll just have to hear from the refs, and whatever it is that the ref decides, we're going to communicate to you guys. But for now, we're going to be back with either the next game or whatever is decided to happen to this game. Thank you guys for joining us. Please don't go anywhere. Do stay, as we have two more matches, I think, to play tonight. 3,
Sovereign of the abyss,
2.
the slayer of gods.
Your team is banning.
My pleasure.
Okay, and we are back again. I think there was an issue, and but we're hoping it's been sorted now. So we'll be going into another draft phase for the two teams again, Eternal Void and Xenagog.
So I think what's going to happen is just a redraft. They're just going to pick the exact same, heroes that they picked the other time, and then probably it was a spell. I actually didn't even pay attention to the spell. I don't know if it was a spell issue
Time and tide wait for no man.
or something, but yeah, as far as it's concerned, they're just going to pick the same hero that they picked in game 1 so that they can speed things up and get into the game as soon as possible. Hopefully this time we're not going to be having any connection issues or anything like that.
Watch out, Leo. Mother Universe needs you.
Need no protection from the rain. I, Minotaur, will finish off what was left undone.
Welcome to Mobile Legends. 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
You should be ashamed for not trusting
Your
yourself.
team is banning. Your team is banning.
Nightfall.
Your team is banning.
Let the killing.
Different perspectives expose
Your
the same
team is
truth.
banning.
3, 2.
The Dragonborn is back.
Your team is picking.
Only love and night
Your
are
team
everlasting.
is picking.
Exorcist
Watch
of
out,
the
Leo.
dragon
Your
spirit
Mother
here.
Universe needs you.
Pain is the proof that I'm still alive.
Your team is picking.
My magic will redefine
Your
reality.
team is banning.
It's my job
Your
to protect
team
her
is
lair.
banning.
This war axe is itching to crack some
Your
heads.
team is banning.
It is better to be feared than
Your
loved,
team is banning.
if you cannot both.
So, who's next?
Your team is picking.
I, Minotaur,
Your
will
team
finish
is
off
picking.
what was left undone.
Always on the way.
No protection
Your
from
team
the
is
rain.
picking.
Detective Fredrin, on the case 24/7.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
All right. You can.
5 seconds.
So I think you
till the
can
enemy
just.
reaches
Yeah.
the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
Yeah. All right. We apologize for the issues we've been having, but it's been all sorted now, so we can go fully into this game, and we'll see how it goes. And of course, that's the new rotation, because taking that creep will give you level 2 instantly. It's a really, really, really good start to the game, and we'll see a little bit of brawl in the mid lane here. Okay. So honestly, these two teams, like we have said, they have really good drafts coming from both sides. So this game really depends on how much they utilize what they have drafted, how much they utilize their picks to get themselves a little bit of match presence. Are we seeing a gank in the XP lane? No, and they will retreat from taking up that Uranus. So as I was saying, they are really, really solid picks, and it depends on how they utilize it when the turtle comes up, when the lord comes up, and how much of the map they can take in the early game. It's been really, really stable rotations for now. The two teams are being very, very methodic with how they are playing it. It seems like a very quiet game this early. Okay, and the first turtle, we can see Eternal Void. They are rotating for the turtle already. We can see a little bit of brawl over there. Wings by wings used. Black Dragon form comes out. And the Yuzong will be, oh my lord, my Fielder is the first one to go out, and the Yuzong is taking out, Mr. Gush is out, and Uranus is out. Back here is also out. I mean, then that means this first turtle belongs, and they'll claim that purple ball first before they go for the turtle. Honestly, that was a really good team fight, and like we've said, Xenagog should really try to make sure that it doesn't escalate into full-on team fight, full-on 5-on-5 team fight. As we can see, I initially thought that Yuzong would be the first to go down, but no, he claims the Matilda before he goes down. And this turtle will be a free turtle for them. There's nothing Xenagog can really do about it. But they are willing to take it slow.
All right. So I think as Ken has stated earlier, the first turtle was a bit anticlimactic. Actually seemed like it was going to go, the side of Xenagog with probably the Yuzhong dropping first. But, the guy just pulls the Uno reverse card and then ends up taking one down, with him before he goes down. And I love what Eternal Void did with that. Okay, instead of forcing the turtle, obviously Xenagog was back. And then they just like, instead of forcing the turtle, they went back to farm up a bit. And this is going to be Prisoner's Rat's retreat. Minotaur there was not even allowed to, get that Mirror Fury out. Black Dragon form already popped up there by the Yuzhong. And it is going to be the Matilda taken down again by the Void, by the God. Another hero is going to fall from the side of Sky Guy. And that is going to be Yuzhong there dropping 3 kills to 4, but it's going to be Eternal Void who are able to secure that turtle. So technically, it's still a win for Eternal Void, and a very slight EXP lead here by Cheesy ahead of the backs here. But this turtle fight basically just showed us how most of the team fights are going to be going. Moving forward, it is going to be Eternal Void having the superior objective control because of the amount of crowd control sustained. The Fredrin you have there is going to automatically going to give you objective control. The Appraiser's Rat and Retreat combo, the amount of taunts he has, and already you can see just the Matilda alone was able to force out the Minoan Fury, but in return the Flicker was forced out of the Matilda. So I'm guessing it was kind of an even trade. I think the Minoan Fury is going to come back faster, but Matilda will not be having that turtle, that Flicker for the next turtle fight. And I think that is good information for Eternal Void to work with. Already you can see the backshare here with that shield minute. He jumps onto the Minotaur. A very interesting target here. 2 men, trying to take down that Uranus in the top lane, but obviously Uranus is a Uranus. The bro is a master shit. He's just going to take whatever as much damage as he can take, and then he's going to be fine. Just heal all that back up. But yeah, we're going to see Tata here under Uranus. He's going to come back. Definitely this Yuzhong and the Uranus is basically a dead lane. It's just going to be them trading blows, trading HP, and then just healing off wherever it is they can heal off on. But yeah, 20, is it 5 seconds? Yeah, 4 seconds. This is the second turtle of the game coming up, and already, just as the first one was, Eternal Void are the ones that have secured that area. Already, this body will have to go back. If not, he's going to get caught here. Beautiful turn there by the Frederick as they do end up taking down the Brutal. Minoan Fury here knocks up the backs here, but he's able to get out there using the wings by wings from the Matilda. Matilda tries to do something in the back line. She's not going to make it there in time, and that is going to be a 1-for-0 trade here. You can see the Irritel there in the back line. Eternal Void trying to do something. The sprint popped by Tata under Uranus. Tries to chase the Irritel down, but definitely that's going to be too many bodies for him to handle. It does seem like he's still going to survive for just a bit as he pops the consecration. Instead, it is the Sicilian who will have to flicker out there. Flicker, Mystic Gush by the God. The fight right now is very chaotic. Even the Flask of the Oasis is not going to save God as he gets taken down. And that is going to be 2 kills actually going inside of Xenagog. A very messy fight, rather uncharacteristic of both teams. I was expecting a more, methodical, a more calculated, objective secure, but seeing that El Cartel tried to bring the fight to them, Xenagog were like, okay, you want to fight, then we can fight also, and they just took the fight. And then Xenagog is even going to push the agenda forward by diving that Fredgen way into their base. Sicilian already popping off. This is just 7 minutes into the game, and we can see the amount of damage that Sicilian is doing already. I think this is going to be a very, very scary game for Eternal Void if they don't, lock in and then, find a way to calm the game down and control what is happening. Even under the turret, you can see here.
And that's why I
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you here, Ken. Are you there, Ken?
and something I've noticed. Yeah, I'm here. Something I've noticed in those first two turtle fights that Eternal Void really need to take note of is, and I think I now understand better why Zena got drafted this way. Because if you notice, one thing they've consistently done is once the turtle comes up, Eternal Void goes in with the engage. They take at least one person that they can take. Xenagog retreats. Make sure that Eternal Void, once they are done putting in all their ult, then they engage back. And at that point, Eternal Void doesn't have anything to stop it. And at that point, Xenagog ends up taking the 32. I think that is something they really need to watch out for.
Yeah, that's definitely something they need to watch out for, because the church is actually having very good momentum in this game, and it is really interesting. How Xenagog have chosen to play this one out. Judging by how they have drafted, the comp they have drafted, I was thinking, okay, maybe they might like a bit of CC, they might not have this, they might not have that, but the way they have decided to execute this, the Uranus here, I think is going to be fine. It doesn't have the springs, but it does still have that consecration. It's going to pop that out and heal up all the damage, that have relieved. But ooh, that is going to be a kill there. Gotten on the Brody in the bottom. I guess he was trying to split push there, but the first Lord of the game has spawned. It's going to be El Cartel as usual, first to the scene. The taunt there on to Uranus, but that Uranus, you guys know that you're definitely not going to pop that Uranus down at this moment. The Minoan Fury here knocks up 3 as they do get up, but the just die petrify onto the backline. The Yuzhong is going to cause a lot of havoc in the backline as Cheesy is going to be taunting up all the members of the side of Xenagog, and that is the team fight prowess that we're talking about from the side of El Cartel. The moment they get that team fight, if they start the team fight first, then definitely it's going to be Eternal Void taking the game. It was not even a contest, seeing how that team fight went. It was so obvious that there was no chance for Xenagog, to do anything about the team fight, and that is going to be the first Lord of the game, going to the side of Eternal Void, and that was a very beautiful team fight. If there's any time you want to come online, definitely the first turtle is going to be the right time for you to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And one thing Xenagog has to put at the back of their minds is that they do not have what it takes for a full-on team fight. Really sorry about the interruptions from the network. So as I was saying, they do not have what it takes for a full-on team fight. I think they just need to keep playing it as methodic as they were during those first two turtles. Because honestly, I wasn't expecting them to be able to give Eternal Void that much of a trouble during those turtle takes. They just need to continue being that methodic. They don't need to be engaging in those full-on team fights. Engage, make sure that Eternal Void put out every ult they can, because that is what their comp allows them to do. Then go back in when they have nothing else to keep them safe, and I think that is the only thing Xenagog can do at this point. But honestly, it's been a really good game from both teams so far. They both tried as much as possible to maximize their compositions in places where they can maximize it, and honestly, it's a beautiful game so far.
Beautiful game so far. The Black Dragon form was actually popped a bit preemptively there, but yeah, you can see Cheesy trying to get more. It's already 3 members taken down from the side of Xenagog. That Irritel is beginning to hurt a lot as she just tried to get that final kill to wipe out the number of Xenagog out, but she's not going to be able to get the kill. Kun is going to escape with his life as, that Irritel is going to be chilling, sitting on a 3-0 and 8 KDA. Nobody seems to be able to get to the Irritel. Unfortunately, the Sicilian gets caught out of place. That stun from the god is able to keep the Sicilian in place as the other members just rain down hell on him. And unfortunately, this Baxia is not as effective as it was in the early game. In the early game, there were no items. The Baxia was able to use the advantage of the passive that he has, to stop them from healing. But come the mid game, come the later portions of the game, it's going to be a bit more difficult for the Baxia to do that because, anti-heals have been popped up. You have penetrative items, builds. Irritel already has a Berserker Fury, and if we know the update to the Berserker, now it's going to deal, almost like HP based damage, almost like a one-hit DHS for crit marksman or for whoever is going to use that crit build. And you can feel the damage on the Baxia, unfortunately. And it's not going to, things are not going to get easier from here for the side of Xenogorg. I feel like what they are doing right now is the best thing that they should do. They just need to take that step back, stay in their base, do wave management, just take care of whatever it is that they need to do and then prepare for the defense that is coming up. Thankfully, the Lord is not an evolved Lord, it's still just a 12-minute Lord. But unfortunately for them, they do not have the holy shields anymore standing in their base. So definitely, we're going to see them losing at least 2, if not all, their inhibitor turrets. And once they do that, that is going to be a very, very difficult position for them to be in for the rest of the game because they will constantly have to, keep on babysitting that far lane or whatever lane has been pushed by this Lord or by Eternal Void. With this Lord, they will need to pay serious attention to that, especially if it's in the far lane, which I'm sure El Cartel will want to do. The next Lord is going to spawn in the bot lane, so they will want to get at least one inhibitor, this top lane inhibitor down, so that they can play the far lane come the next team fights. Couple of pokes here and there. That was a beautiful Sanguine Claws. They're pulling 2 members back, and yeah, they're just going to disengage, reset. You see 3 members trying to, escort that Lord. You can see that they really, really need that top lane inhibitor, and I think they're going to get it easily. It is going to be other lanes. Beautiful Million of Fury there onto the back line. It's going to be 2 members already almost taken down. The Brody is going to fall as 1 member for the side of Xenogorg goes down. Cheesy almost going down, but he's going to retreat. Beautiful, understanding of the limit of his heroes there. So he's also, okay, now I'm getting down. He needs to recall. However, 3 man Sanguine Claws there by Sicilian as he pulls them back, and now Eternal Void, very, very disciplined play. They get that top lane inhibitor. As we said, that is the important one that they know that they need to get. They get that and they fall back. Xenogorg, you don't need to fight this. You guys are really, really behind. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. That has to be it. So I think given the position that Xenogorg is in currently, that was not a bad defense at all. They were lots of gold behind. They had that Lord coming in and they managed to hold, to the one in the bot lane. I feel like even just the breeze would push that turret down. But given as things are currently, they still have 2 inhibitor turrets standing. The top one, which is the most dangerous one for them, has been taken down, unfortunately. So that is going to be permanent damage already dealt to the base of the side of Xenogorg. And unfortunately, they really don't have a hero that can tend to the far lane clear fast enough. Of course, they have the Uranus. Probably that is what is going to happen. The Uranus is going to go there, clear, probably have the Matilda assist him with the movement speed. Maybe he can clear and come back. But Eternal Void are too smart for that. Of course, Sky Guy is going to be there also, making sure there's always a slow push building in that top lane. And this is basically going to be the story of the rest of the game moving forward. You're going to have them handling the far lane, and these guys just trying over and over again to set up the slow push and then get things there done. Yep, that's going to be an easy load for the side of Eternal Void, and I think this Lord might actually be the last Lord. So it's not an evolved Lord still. We're not yet at the 80-minute mark.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How do you think Xenogorg can actually defend this push coming from the side of El Cartel?
I think if they are going to, honestly, I don't, not confident they will be able to defend this next Lord.
Interesting. Mm.
Blue team base turret has been destroyed. Blue team hero has been slain. Blue team base turret has been destroyed. Team hero has been slain. Hero has been slain. Unstoppable.
Victory!
All right, that's going to be game number 2. Oh, sorry about that, but that's going to be game number 2. It's going to be Eternal Void. The scores don't actually completely tell the full story of the game, honestly. I feel like the game was not as one-sided as the scores look, but definitely it was El Cartel Eternal Void. Sorry, it was Eternal Void having more control, especially over the mid to late game. Xenogorg started very, very good, especially in the early game. Unfortunately, as things progressed, they were not able to maintain that lead, partially because of the kind of draft that they had going on. There was no current control, for them to be able to control it. And then it's also partially because of some rather questionable team fight. I feel like they felt they were, ahead and then started taking unnecessary risks, not respecting the power spike of the Minotaur after he got the flask of the Oasis. When God got the Sky Pierce, I feel like damage just hit them unaware, and they were not expecting the amount of damage that God was already, dealing. And then even when the Irrital got the Has Claw, got the Berserker Fury, they didn't account for the amount of damage that Eternal Void was doing, and unfortunately by the time they wanted to adapt, it was already too late. And yeah, that's why we have this kind of scoreline.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what really happened with them was that I think they got too confident after winning out in those first 2 turtle takes. And
Exactly.
probably that was what made them feel they were strong enough to go for team fights after that. But that was really, really a bad call. They should have worked more towards the strength of their picks than wanting to take needless team fights.
Yeah.
And the weakness of their team composition really started to come in during the mid to late game because, like I said, Eternal Void have a composition that gives them a huge chunk of the map presence, while they have to give that away the longer the game goes. And it was really, really obvious towards, I think, the last 2 lords that were taken, that they could not even come out of their base to contest the Lord. But really, really nice plays, nice game from both teams. They really, really did their best, and honestly, it was a lovely game from both ends.
Yeah, I agree. So that's going to be Xenogorg versus El Cartel. Another game is going to be coming up. That's going to be this 3rd match of the day. Do stay with us, as we're going to be back in a moment with that game.
chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on the fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, hold on. No one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, getting racks in the morning. Star boy on the film named Marin. Feels like Brazil had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in the You never seen this before. Now I got 4 songs on a billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to so much, you know. They said I would never, ever get better. They said I would never, ever get better. Party in there, party in there. Party in there, party in there. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, yeah. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in there. Favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in there. Da chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. All the ladies hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on the fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, hold on. No one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, getting racks in the morning. Star boy on the film named Marin. Feels like Brazil had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in the You never seen this before. Now I got 4 songs on a billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to so much, you know. They said I would never, ever get better. They said I would never, ever get better. Party in there, party in there. Party in there, party in there. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, yeah. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in there. Favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a trifecta. We can have a party in there. Da chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Marcada, chamada, chamada na cena. Chamada, chamada. All the ladies, hold up, hop in the ride, it's a brand new motor. Get on a fly, live la vida loca. My body fine, it's a Coca-Cola. Hold on, no one no sleep and I swear to total. Throwing it back when I press rewind. Losing her mind when she see that motion. Yeah, straight to the bag, get racks in the morning. Star boy on a film named Marin. Feel like Brazil had a man them ballin'. Shoot my shot, then I'm scoring. No one does it better. Body curving, how she swerving like a Travella. We can have a party in the favela. Body curving, how she swerving like a Travella. We can have a party in the You never see this before. Now I got 4 songs on a billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to so much, you know. They said I would never get better. They said I would never get
Come on, Dexter. It's our showtime.
Butterflies born by thy wish, guided by lanternflies.
Only love and night are everlasting.
My kiss. Will it grant immortality or death?
My mission is to protect lives.
I am vengeance incarnate.
You never see this before. Now I got 4 songs on a billboard. You don't even know about me, no. Used to listen to
See value in me? You should.
Let's go.
Everything engulfed in flames.
Is banning.
The ocean is not just our home, it is who we are.
exists the equilibrium, which I was made for.
True love is like blood.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops